Hello people, another beautiful day. Yeah. Look, still talking about the situation, when the situation happened up on UC Berkeley campus, I was coming down the street, like this, and then a police car was coming this way, so I'm thinking that they're doing their usual routines, right? And then police officer like I'm walking, police officer passed me, but then I guess he turns around and then come up behind me, and then pulled me over. And then called in other officers. There was about 6 to 7 officers that day. It was like on that day it was 6 to 7 officers, and I had this backpack with me, this blue backpack, and I had this laptop with me, right? So I got this laptop with me, right? This is a Dell Inspiron 1300. This is what I had on me, right? And this is the backpack I had. Right? And then had it on my back like this, right? Right? So I'm on UC Berkeley campus, and I'm walking down the street, close to the stadium, right? And I had the laptop in my backpack. So I'm walking like this, the police officer coming like this, and I was enjoying my little walk, minding my own business. But then he decided to pass me and then come up behind me, and I didn't even know that there was a robbery or burglary in the area. I'm saying I'm just walking. Then he crept up behind me, and then everything took place. And then when he pulled me over, then about another 6 to about 5 to 7 police officers pulled up, right? And they took the bag off my back, right? And when they opened it, right, they took my wallet, my bag, right? So when they opened it, this computer was there, a Dell Inspiron 1300. So a burglary happened on UC Berkeley campus. I know nothing about, right? The victim is an Asian girl, right? And her MacBook Pro got stolen. Anybody with common sense that sees this can tell the difference between a PC and a Mac, and a Dell laptop and a MacBook Pro, because MacBook Pros are Apple. She lost her MacBook Pro got stolen. I had a Dell Inspiron 1300 on me. So when the police, they arrest me, right? I told them, you got the wrong person, dude. And I don't know of any burglar. I'm trying to tell them everything I can, talking about this whole thing, this whole scenario. They refused to listen. So they had me handcuffed, right? And I was in the back of the car. I had my head leaned back like this on the headrest in the back seat. And then they took the pictures out. Of the persons who they were looking for. They had some pictures that they were going through. And the person that they were looking for is a person with dreads and braids. And in my years of living, I have never had dreads or braids. I've had an afro, or I cut my hair low. But they refused to listen. They took me all the way down to Berkeley Police Jail, and then the officer he came out. He went to the door of the main building. He was standing there, and they were writing up some report, and they were trying to get me to like sign something, because I've never been in jail before, so I don't know the whole process. And then I'm in Berkeley jail. I think it was that Sunday, and I stayed in Berkeley jail an extra day on a Monday. And then on a Tuesday, I think I'm getting out, and then next thing I know, I'm getting on a prison bus, one of those prison buses, and the prison bus pulled up to the police station, and I went from Berkeley police jail to Santa Rita jail, and then the whole saga begins. Okay. And from all that time when the situation happened, I went through every court hearing, every one of them. And the first time I seen the girl is municipal court. If you're in your house and someone burglarized your house, and that person is not wearing a mask and everything, and you can see them, right? And then when it's time to go to court, and you got someone arrested, but then when the victim sees the person, that's not the person, right? So that means the case is dismissed, and that's what happened, because they grabbed the wrong person, and the Berkeley police didn't care. They was just trying to catch anybody, somebody. So basically, they used me as a replacement. But when they opened my bag, this is what I had on me: a Dell Inspiron 1300 with this blue backpack. Okay. And the victim on UC Berkeley campus lost a MacBook Pro. Okay, she lost a MacBook Pro. Okay. So from the time that situation happened, nobody compensated me for my time ever. Not even UC Berkeley. Not even the city of Berkeley, meaning the mayor, the city manager, and UC Berkeley. Now one of them said, you know what, we screwed up, we messed up. You know what, here goes a scholarship to UC Berkeley, and call it a day. Nobody did that. You know? And me personally, I never thought of putting my case on social media, because my case is blocked. You know, I've tried to file my case and my case is blocked. So I never thought of putting my case on social media, meaning YouTube, until, you know, my creator came to me in my prayers and said, okay, you put your case on social media. You know? So that's what I did. So the idea came to me from my creator. So that's what I did. I put it out there. So, but I never really did anything to anyone. Never burglarized anybody's homes or anything like that. You know, the police just used me as a replacement. I was kidnapped off the street, and I was used as a replacement. Okay, I was used as a replacement. Okay, the girl lost a MacBook Pro, and this is a Dell Inspiron 1300. Okay, so imagine now I go to the judge that dismissed my case, and I let him know that I was never compensated for my time. So I get the judge will probably be like, wait a minute, so you mean to tell me from the time I saw your case and I dismissed your case, and I was laughing at it too, you mean to tell me from the time I saw the case and dismiss it from that time, and you mean from that time the case was dismissed, nobody offered you anything? Nobody? You mean to tell me the city of Berkeley, that the city of Berkeley with the mayor, the city manager, and the UC Berkeley chancellor and the board of directors, they never offered you anything? Nothing? You mean from that time, from the time I saw you in my courtroom and I was laughing at your case and I dismissed your case because I knew you didn't do it, you mean to tell me from that time I saw your case, the city of Berkeley never compensated you? Nope. You serious? No, they didn't. Because here's why. In order for the city of Berkeley to compensate you with something, that means the state of California has to know about it through the government. So they never compensated me for everything. And if I told the judge, okay, I went to an attorney to get my paperwork filled out, she blocked my case and telling me that it's set in stone, then I guess the judge reaction is going to be like, who blocked your case? And what for? Right? And then what does the attorney means it's set in stone? Could you imagine the judge that dismissed my case, if he hears this, how his reaction going to be? Look, he's going to look at the city of Berkeley. He's going to look at the attorney that blocked my case. Why did you block his case if he didn't do anything to you? And what did you mean that his case is set in stone? What is set in stone? Could you imagine the judge that dismissed my case? His reaction when he hears that I was never compensated for my time. From that time when that case happened up until now. Could you imagine his reaction? And could you see his reaction when he look at the city of Berkeley and then call him out? And then probably go at the judge, the attorney that blocked my case. I would love to eat popcorn to see that interaction. Okay, I would love to be a fly on the wall to see that. You arrested the wrong person. You put him in prison. He spent time here. You didn't compensate him. You mean from that time I dismissed the case? You mean to tell me the city of Berkeley never did anything? No, they didn't, because in order for the city of Berkeley to do something, the state government board has to know about it. And if the judge find out the case is blocked, like, okay, why did you block the case? And what did you mean is set in stone? You could be like, okay, did you hear the question Mr. Reid just asked us? If it is set in stone, what happens when you take a sledgehammer, hit a stone, a wall, a rock, concrete, and a building block, and it's cracked? Did you hear the question he asked us? He asked us? Then what do you mean is set in stone? What do you mean the case is set in stone? I would love to be a fly on the wall to hear that interaction, man. I would love to be a fly on the wall that's sitting there hearing that interaction. How angry the judge would be. Because let me be real honest with you all. A judge the judges is put in the state to serve the state, man. But they also there to protect the city too, cities and states. They don't like situations like this, because if the judge that dismissed my case finds out that I was never compensated for my time, I would love to be a fly on the wall to hear that interaction between the city of Berkeley and Superior Court judges. I want to hear that interaction, because I'm pretty sure he's going to be shaking his head like this. You mean to tell me from the time I dismissed the case, you mean to tell me that you, the city of Berkeley, you didn't compensate Mr. Reid? He's never been arrested before. He has a clean record. You put him in jail for a crime he never did, and you never compensate him from that time? Like I said before, I would love to be a fly on the wall to hear that interaction, huh? That judge would be ticked, and he would be mad at them. Okay? So yeah, I never broke into that girl's house, man. They got the wrong person. Okay? They got the wrong person. And you know, like I said, no cursing, no swearing, no threats or disrespect to the city managers of Berkeley, the mayor, the UC Berkeley chancellor, or the UC Berkeley police, nor to the California government, Gavin Newsom, to all the judges that sits on the different courts and the different circuits, to all the lawyers and attorneys, and to the paralegals and the public defenders, and to the police throughout California. But I would love to be a fly on the wall to hear that interaction, man. Could you imagine I take my case right now to the judge that dismissed my case and tell him the scenario? Those phones in the city of Berkeley would be ringing off the hook. Okay? Every one of them would be getting a phone call. They'd be like, wait a minute, you mean to tell me from the time I dismissed this case, you never compensated Chris Reid? And you blocked his case? I mean, that is what get a judge angry. Could you see I would love to be a fly on the wall to hear that interaction. Huh? Trust me, all the judges that looked at my case, if they found out that I never got compensated for my time, the city of Berkeley's phones will be ringing off the hook. And just being a fly on the wall just to hear what they got to say, man, for their explanation. From the time we looked at this case, went to trial, went to all the hearings, and dismissed the case, you City of Berkeley Chancellor, Mayor, and Manager, you never compensated Mr. Reid? You offered him nothing? You offered him nothing? And then you turn around and blocked his case? You offered him nothing? And that is what get a judge angry, because the judge knows now that the stakes have been risen. The stakes have risen. They know. Every judge know that the stake has been risen, because they will call the city of Berkeley and be like, wait a minute, you didn't offer Chris Reid anything? From the time we looked at this, from the time the case came up, and from the time all the judges looked at all this case, looked at the case, some of us made fun of it, some of us laughed at it. We knew Mr. Reid didn't do it, and that's why we were laughing at it. And from the time the case was dismissed, from the time we looked at the case, went to court hearings, went to all the hearings and all that, from the time we looked at that case and we dismissed the case, and from the time the case is dismissed up until now, you never compensated Chris Reid? You didn't give him anything? You blocked his case? And I guess the judge is going to just look at the attorney that blocked my case and like, what do you mean that it is set in stone? I would love to be a fly on the wall to hear that interaction. And this is what gets judges upset. Okay? When people don't take care of business. Okay? From the time the case is dismissed, you never compensated. You never compensated Mr. Reid. From the time all of us judges looked at this case in Oakland, from all of us judges, we passed the case around because we knew we didn't do it. We were running relays with the thing. And from the time the case is dismissed, you, the city of Berkeley, never compensated Chris Reid up until now? And you blocked the case? What do you mean that is set in stone? Just imagine that scene alone, man. Alone. Just imagine. Because the judge knows now the stakes have been risen. Okay? So yeah, I never was compensated for my time. And if the city of Berkeley give me something, then the state has to know, the state board has to know about it. Okay? So just imagine that, man. I was never compensated for my time. All the judges that worked on my case. The case is Christopher Troy Reid versus the city of versus California, but it's about a situation that happened on UC Berkeley campus, and I was never the perpetrator. Okay, I was never the person that committed the crime. I never had a criminal record. So imagine a judge that worked on my case, all of them that seen it, Imagine they getting together and shaking their heads like, and then looking, and then imagine that conversation between them and the city of Berkeley. That is what get that judge upset, okay? They never compensated me for my time. And they blocked my case so I couldn't file my case. So that means there's no statute of limitations. Okay? Yeah. Let any one of those judges in Oakland that works the Superior Court or Municipal Court, and let them see this video. They will have fits. Okay? They will have fits. Okay? They're gonna be like, wait a minute, because they can look up the file. They can look up the file themselves, and they're gonna be like, wait a minute, you mean to tell me from the time we looked at the case, saw the case, went to all these trials and hearings, and Mr. Reid was present. He was present at all of them, and he was present when we dismissed the case. And when we dismissed the case, you mean to tell me from the time the case started until it was dismissed, up until now, you never compensate Mr. Reid for anything? Anything? And the case is blocked? What you block the case for? And then, like I said, I would love to be a fly on the wall to see that interaction, man, between the city of Berkeley and Superior Court. Because all the judges will be fuming. Okay? They will be angry. They will be fuming. Because they know the stakes have been risen. They know. Okay? They know. They know. You know what I'm saying? Because the Superior Court judges, all of them, even the ones that was laughing at it, even the one that asked me when he said, I want to know what you were doing in the girl's room. But the judge knew I wasn't in the room because I was never there. Right? And even the last one that laughed at my case. Everyone that touched the case and passed it around, they will be fuming because they know the stakes have been risen. Okay? Make no mistake about that. Make no mistake about that, okay? And no insults, threats, swearing, cursing, or disrespect. Like I said, to any one of the judges in California, lawyers, attorneys, paralegals, public defenders, the police, city managers, mayors, usually Berkeley Chancellor, the judges is going to be fuming. Okay? Because once they see this, they're going to be like, wait a minute. You mean to tell us from the time we worked on this case, we saw this case, and we knew that Mr. Reid didn't do anything. We knew it. We just passed the case around. And sometimes we were even making fun of him. And we were laughing, but we knew the seriousness of this case. And you mean to tell us, from the time all of us judges in Oakland touched this case, you mean to tell me the city of Berkeley you haven't compensated Chris Reid from the time the case started till it was dismissed up until now? Oh, the case is blocked. What you block the case for? I would love to be a fly on the wall to hear that. I would love to be a fly on the wall to hear that. Okay? To hear that interaction. Because every judge that touched my case knows the stakes have been risen. Okay? They know. Wait till they hear this. They are going to be fuming. Okay? Probably pulling their hairs out their heads. They're going to be fuming, man. Judge don't like to lose cases like this. No, they don't. Yeah, they love. Don't get me wrong. They love to play the role of a judge. But when a city gets affected like this, man, they don't like it, and they're gonna be looking at the city managers and the mayors like, and the chancellor's like, you didn't even offer Chris Reid a scholarship to UC Berkeley. You didn't even do that. A simple scholarship. You didn't compensate him for all this time. Wait till all the judges in Oakland, in Superior Court, the one that looked at my case. Okay? It's Christopher Troy Reid versus the city of Berkeley. Okay? Once they look that up, the phones are going to be ringing off the hook because they know the stakes have been risen. Okay? Because they know the moment they looked at the case, the moment the girl said she lost a MacBook Pro, and when they pulled me over, I had a Dell on me, a Dell Inspiron 1300. The case was over. But what's going to get them real angry is when they get to find out that I was never compensated for my time all that time. Well, he never called us. He never contacted us. And that's going to be one of the biggest lies told, because I did. Okay? When the judge, trust me, when the judges hear this, man, they're going to be fuming. Okay? But again, no insults, no cursing, no swearing, no threats or disrespect to the judges, to the attorneys, lawyers, paralegals, public defenders, to the police, to the city manager, to the mayor, to the UC Berkeley chancellor, and to the governor of California. The Superior Court judges are going to be fuming. Okay? Once they see this video, they're going to be looking up this case. They're going to be fuming. They are going to be fuming. Okay? Because they're going to be like, wait a minute. From the time we took this case, we looked at it, we saw it, we knew the case was over the moment we touched it because we looked at it, and once you pulled over, you arrested Chris Reid, the girl lost a MacBook Pro, but he had a Dell Inspiron 1300 on him. They knew the case was already over. But it's the fact that they never compensated me. That's what's going to get the judges mad. Because now they realize that the state is going to lose more. Okay? Anyway, yeah. I would love to be a fly on the wall to see that, to hear that conversation. Because they know the stakes have been risen. Anyway, nice talking to you people. Chris, still a Star Wars and Star Trek thing. Thor, Dark Side. I'm gone. Peace.